Okay, I'm just showing you how to wire the frog. I take a 20 gauge wire, but you don't have to use green. The first thing you want to do is make a pinhole. So I just bend one end and then you just size it however your frog is. I kind of do a little loop like that and go to the other foot and make another pinhole like that. All right, so I'll twist it. And you want it to look like that on the end. Straighten it out, and you do the same on the other side. And just try to make it to where nothing's like poking out like that. So this is what it looks like. And now you'll take a needle and the same thread that you used to, if I can get it through, the same thread that you used to knit your frog, because you want it to match. And just pull enough that you think you'll need to wrap your wire in the same color. Okay. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is put it through the pinhole that you created on one end, and you'll pull it through until you get to the end, and you just leave like a tail, and then I just wrap a couple of times, and then I go through that pinhole. This is, you're just trying to get it to wrap around. You're trying to coat that pinhole with yarn. So you'll do this a couple of times. Okay, so now that it's coated, I'll take my pliers and cinch it closed, but you don't want to cinch it too tight because you're going to need to go through one more time with your needle. Well, actually, you'll have to go through a lot once your wire is in your frog, and I'll show you what I mean later. But all right, so now that you've got it through that, you'll start to wrap around. When you get to the spot that you have double wire, you'll want to wrap that really well so that it doesn't poke through. And then you'll just keep going until you have coated the full length of your wire. Okay, so I've wrapped the full piece of wire, and now I'm at the other pinhole. I've already surrounded this with my yarn as well, and now I'll go through one more time and then cinch it, go through again to make sure that my needle fits through. Okay, and then I just kind of pull it through this way so that it kind of keeps the thread on it tight, and then I pull that and then cut. All right, so now I'll take my needle that I used to knit with and just put it through to make it easier. Because it's a big pain in the butt to try and do it with your wire, and you'll just wiggle it to get it nice and loose. Hopefully that's good enough. enough, and then you'll run your wire through. Okay, because it's important to get it through the body. All right, so now you'll take it and insert it through where you did all your I-cord rows. And you'll just slowly insert it until you get to about well, since this is the feet, it'll be the ankle of the frog. And this part takes patience. Okay. So I'm going to push it through at the first I-cord, no, the last I-cord row. All right, so now it looks like this. It's poking out just a little bit, but you want it to poke out some right at the ankle part of your frog. And you'll take your needle and yarn and you'll insert it anywhere. I kind of try to do it close to the top. Leave a little bit of a tail here, and I wrap a little bit to create the ankle, wrap like 2 times, and then you'll take your needle and poke it through the back and through that pinhole like that, and pull it through, and then I put it at the top just over the pinhole into the foot of the frog, and you'll pull it through, and you do this a couple of times. The point is to get it padded so that it's not a sharp piece of wire sticking out, and it kind of makes it like a heel of the frog, kind of. Once it's nice and kind of thick, maybe do it like this, where I don't feel any sharpness of it. Let me do it one more time. And then I will stick it down through the back to kind of cinch it off, pull it through like that around the same place where my extra is, and just trim it off like that, like that. And then I'll come back over here and you do the same thing on the other side. So stick it through all your I-cord rows. Sticking out right about there. Okay, again, go in. I go in at the side, pull it through, leave just a little bit out, wrap a few times tight, and then you'll stick it from the back and into that pinhole, and that just keeps it from sliding anywhere. And then you'll do that just a couple of times until the end, that point is nice and padded. And you'll do the same exact process for the arms as well. But the biggest difference, one of the bigger parts of this is needle felting your frog. When you needle felt, you'll get all this nice and tight around your wire, and that also keeps it from moving in or out of your frog as well. So it's very, very important to needle felt your frog. Okay, and so now that I've got it nice and thick around here, I will go through the back and just run my thread through the foot and leg a little bit. And I don't tie anything because, again, when you needle felt it, all the fibers get kind of like blended in. nothing moves after that. Okay. Alright, so we finished the legs, and now we're doing the arms. Same thing, 20 gauge wire, you'll fold it like this, and this one's just a little bit different on how you size it. So I'll do from the wrist and all the way across the body to the other side, like that. But this, once it's through, it'll like fold up a little bit like that when you go to put the arms down, obviously. Let me do that one more time. So from the ankle, or no, the wrist, and you go all the way over to the other wrist and bend it, cut it. Okay, and then you twist to create the pinhole. Making sure that the wire is nice and flush and not sticking out, kind of like that. And you do the same on the other side. Okay. And then I take your yarn that the same one that matches your frog that you used, and wrap your wire. Okay, so I went ahead and wrapped one side, but just to remind everyone, I'll do this pinhole. So again, you just insert it through the back, pull it through the front, and just keep doing that until it is completely wrapped. Okay, and then you'll cinch it. That one will work with me, but not too tight so that you can fit your needle in. Maybe still a little too loose. And then you will, I like to just put my needle through some of the threads here to keep it still. Keep it in there. I'm gonna pinch it just a little bit more. Okay. And cut that, and now we'll run it through. This one's actually, for me, harder than the legs there as far as getting it through. So I'll just insert my needle, knitting needle, all the way through, just getting it through all that stuffing and stuff, and then I'll just wiggle it to give me some space, and then makes it much easier to get all the way through. All right, take it through your I-cord rows. Okay, like that. Try to get it past the elbow. Okay. And it'll come out right at the wrist. Oh, that's a little hard. Okay, like that. If some of your yarn starts to show, or some of your wire starts to show, you can just pull your yarn back up over that. And then do the same exact thing that you did with your foot, and you'll just pull it through. Leave a little bit there, wrap a few times. This one's wanting to go on the side. Just make sure that it's flat, like don't let it go up like that, the wire. Make sure you can go through your pinhole, and make sure it's where you want it to be, so don't let it be too off-centered. And then you'll put your needle above the wire So go through the pinhole and then go above it. Or you can go off a little bit to the side of it, but just over the wire part. So going from the back to the front, back to front. Okay, and so now it's nice and padded. I'm not feeling the wire as much. I'll go through one more time. Like that, and then I'll go to the back, kind of weave in my thread, poke it out, pull it through, and then cut the excess. Careful not to cut the actual stitches. Then you do the same thing on the other side of your frog. Through the I-cord rows and out to that side, poking out right there, and do the same thing. And through the side, leave a little, wrap it maybe twice to create your wrist, and make sure that your needle's going through the, it's trying to twist on me, so there it goes. Okay, so we finished wiring him. The next big part is needle felting, or you can just leave him as he is now. It's up to you. Mine always look different than some until after I've needle felted it. So this is what he looks like now, and I'll show you what he looks like when I'm done. He's all done. This is what he looks like after felting. Big difference. So his arms are now shaped well, and the fibers where the where our pinhole is, you can barely even notice it, and you can barely even feel that end there. You really can't. The way that I do the feet, I kind of have them kind of flat. This is where the wire is, but you can't really feel that much. It's just kind of like the curve of him, so that he sits like this on his feet. And that's my video. I hope that this was helpful. If you would like to purchase one of my frogs, my Etsy shop is in the link below. Other than that, I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.